Yo, what's going on guys, Dillbobs here, welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. With the release of Ultron and a bunch of new team-ups in the game, there have been many myths floating around, and it's time for us to put them to the test in this video. So welcome to episode 4 of Marvel Rivals Mythbusters. Ultron's Encephalo Ray can shoot through Magneto's ultimate. So when Magneto pops his ult, he normally absorbs a bunch of projectiles, but Ultron's hit scan Encephalo Ray does not get consumed, and you can shoot Magneto directly, damaging him in his ultimate.
Myth confirmed.
Jeff's bubbles can stack healing. So Jeff's bubbles got a rework this season, and they now give you healing over time. So what happens if you throw multiple healing bubbles on the same target? Will they heal at a faster rate? Well, I tried this out and it turns out no. They heal at the exact same rate and gain the exact same amount of healing. There is only a slight difference, and that's because every time I threw the bubble on them, they got an extra 7 health, faster than the tick rate of the healing. But no, you cannot stack the Jeff bubbles to heal faster.
Myth busted.
Ultron's drone turns invisible with his teammates. Okay, if you put an Ultron drone on your invisible teammate, the drone will mimic the invisibility of the teammate it's assigned to so that it doesn't reveal its position to the enemies. This is an incredible feature that I was really wondering if it was true or not, but it turns out it is. And if you're wondering about the red circle around it, well, that goes invisible too. I tested it in game, and it makes the drone completely invisible. And this works for all heroes that go invisible, even for Cloak and Dagger. The same goes for Loki. And what I find cool is the drone actually has the same visual effect of the player it's on as well, which just looks so much cooler. Like it goes purple for Psylocke. So yes, it's true.
Won't you look at that? Myth confirmed.
When Loki copies Ultron, you can stack 2 healing drones onto one teammate. Okay, plain and simple, let's copy Ultron. And unfortunately, you do not get the option to put a second healing drone on the same target. That would have been crazy. The healing would have gone insane. But this is not the case. You can't assign 2 drones to one target.
Myth busted.
When Loki copies Ultron, you can stack Imperative Patch to get more bonus health. Okay, once again, plain and simple. If I copy Ultron and we both pop Imperative Patch within range, we both gain shields. And that means, yes, it does indeed stack.
Myth confirmed.
When Loki copies Ultron, you can place both drones and the healing will stack. Okay, so we can't place 2 drones on the same target, but what if we place 2 drones on nearby targets? Can we stand in the middle and get double healing? Well, yes, you can. The healing is ramped up to double the effect. So if you ever copy an Ultron as Loki, the healing will go crazy. And one thing we did here was we just put a drone on each other and stood near each other and popped all our healing abilities, and you just heal super fast.
Myth confirmed.
You can stack Rocket's armor pack with Penny's armor pack with the team up. Okay, so this new team up lets Penny place a new spider nest that also pumps out its own armor packs that even have their own little Penny Parker logo on them, so they do look different to the ones created by Rocket's beacon. So can they stack as they are technically different? Well, no. Unfortunately, you cannot stack the Penny and the Rocket armor packs to give you even more bonus health.
Myth busted.
Hawkeye's Ice Arrow cannot go through Doctor Strange's portal. Okay, so Hawkeye's new team up with Lunar Snow does let him shoot the Ice Arrow, which can penetrate through walls. So how will that work with Doctor Strange's portal? Will it just go through it, or will it actually go through the portal? Well, yes, it does indeed go through the Doctor Strange portal. However, it's interesting how the freeze mechanic works, because the enemy has to be 30 meters away in order for them to be frozen by the arrow. Then the arrow itself must still travel 30 meters, so that means placing the portal either 30 meters from the enemy or 30 meters from Hawkeye himself, so that the arrow can travel 30 meters. And this also works if it travels part of the distance before the portal and after the portal. As long as the arrow itself travels 30 meters, it will freeze the target when it goes through the portal.
Myth busted.
Playing Marvel Rivals with a controller this season has been too difficult. Well, I've recently been using the VADER 4 Pro controller by FLYDIGI, and let me tell you, this controller has done nothing but feel amazing while playing Marvel Rivals, thanks to its remarkable technology. Because it's equipped with FLYDIGI's force-adjustable lever joysticks that offer ultra-precise recentering with no stick drift. And it's super easy to make the controller feel perfect for you because you can adjust the tension by simply rotating the force adjustment rings, and it actually enhances my gameplay because it has 6 macro buttons that can be fully programmed in the FLYDIGI Space Station software. This is your hub for fully customizing your controller, letting you alter joystick curves, change the dead zones, or add compensation, and plenty more. And I also got to try their flagship controller, the Apex 4, which offers the best innovation with the world's first alloy joystick with adjustable tension, providing an ultra-smooth operating experience that also ensures the joystick's durability, maintaining excellent performance even after 2 million high-frequency users, on top of the range of other awesome features like the smart interactive screen, where you can alter your controller's functionality and even change the trigger modes to fit your playstyle across all genres of games. And all of these controllers are available on FLYDIGI's new official website. Everything you need is all in one place. Choose the perfect controller for you, download all the dedicated software, and they offer great customer support services 24/7. So no, playing Marvel Rivals is not difficult with a controller when you're equipped with the best from FLYDIGI. And you can get yours by clicking the link in the description or pinned comment. Captain America cannot deflect Ultron's primary fire. Okay, let's see. Cap's shield, will it bounce back? No. Captain America cannot deflect Ultron's primary fire. Weirdly enough, the ray does not bounce back, and it just damages the shield as normal, unlike with other heroes where his shield does deflect primary fire.
Won't you look at that? Myth confirmed.
Jeff and Venom's team up will attach to invisible teammates, thus revealing their location. Okay, plain and simple, this is true. If you have an invisible teammate like Invisible Woman and you pop this team up, it will attach directly to that invisible target and it will not be invisible, so it will basically show exactly where they are.
Myth confirmed.
Ultron's ultimate can shoot through Magneto's ultimate. Okay, different to the primary fire, will the ultimate get eaten? Yes, this projectile acts completely different, and if you shoot it into a Magneto ult, then it will get consumed. However, it does a lot of damage, so it will very quickly destroy the bubble, so Magneto can't really counter your ult with his ult either way.
Myth busted.
Jeff, Storm, and Human Torch can combine all 3 ultimates. Okay, with the new Sharknado, can we combine it with the Fire Tornado to make a Fire Sharknado? Well, first up, we tried making the Firenado first, and then see if Jeff can combine with it, and unfortunately, Jeff was unable to combine with the Firenado. But what about if we do the Sharknado first, and then throw a Flaming Tornado at it? Well, once again, this unfortunately doesn't work. You cannot ignite it with a Fire Tornado. You cannot use the team up ability. These 3 ults cannot combine. Now, I did see a clip on social media where it looked like there was a glitch where the ults combined. I think this is a glitch and it doesn't actually do anything, and people have not been able to replicate it. So, Fire Sharknado, maybe another day.
Myth busted.
Ultron is immune to Doctor Strange's ultimate during his ultimate. Okay, when Ultron pops his ultimate, can he be stunned by a strange ult? Well, no, that's because you can see the gold line around his health bar, and that means Ultron is CC immune during his ult, so he can't be eaten by things like a Jeff ult, and cannot be stunned by Doctor Strange's ult.
Myth confirmed.
Groot walls block Ultron's line of sight with his healing drone. Okay, with Ultron's healing drone, if you lose line of sight for a short duration, then it will be retrieved back to you. Now, does a Groot wall count? Well, it does indeed. A Groot wall does stop his line of sight and can prevent Ultron from placing his healing drone. But I wanted to test if this works with a friendly Groot wall, because can your teammates also block your line of sight? Well, this is also the case. All Groot walls will block line of sight, no matter if he's your teammate or not.
Myth confirmed.
You can destroy Ultron's healing drone. Okay, Ultron's healing drone, well, it cannot be destroyed. There is no way to destroy his healing drone by damaging it. However, technically you can destroy it by just killing Ultron. The drone will then be removed from the teammate.
Myth busted.
Penny Parker can stack 6 webs with Rocket's new team-up to heal faster. So in a previous Mythbusters episode, we found that you can actually stack Penny's webs in order to heal your overshield faster. And with the new team-up, you have 2 new web abilities. So does that mean you could stack them to heal even faster? Well, unfortunately, Doing this test, I've actually found out that they seem to have removed the ability to stack webs to heal your overshield faster. You no longer heal faster at all, whether you're stood on 1 web, whether you're stood on 4 webs, or even 6 webs with the new team up. So unfortunately, this is not the case, and they removed the stacking as a whole.
Myth busted.
Luna Snow can stack her freeze on top of Hawkeye's ice arrow. Okay, so if you use Hawkeye's ice arrow, it freezes the person for about 1.5 seconds. Now, if Hawkeye and Luna Snow freeze someone at the same time, it doesn't extend the duration. It still just goes for about 1.5 seconds. However, if you do freeze someone as Hawkeye, Luna Snow can still freeze them on top of that, thus extending the duration. So you can kind of stack them, but this isn't really anything crazy.
Myth confirmed.
Hawkeye's ice arrow can freeze Punisher while in his turret. Okay, since it goes through walls, could it go through the turret and freeze Punisher? Well, even at a distance of above 30 meters, it does not freeze Punisher on his turret.
Myth busted.
That kind of leads me to this one. Hawkeye's ice arrow can penetrate Punisher's turret and damage him. Well, yes, you just saw it. Because the arrow goes through surfaces, it does go through the turret and just damages the turret and Punisher directly, which is pretty neat.
Myth confirmed.
Jeff's Aquaburst will knock Scarlet Witch's ultimate out the sky. Okay, Jeff's Aquaburst now deal knockback, and this is true that if you hit a ulting Scarlet Witch, then it will knock her back and in fact stop her from flying for a short duration. You can see here it knocks you out of the sky, and it takes her just over a second to regain any movement control.
Won't you look at that? Myth confirmed.
If the thing slams Ultron during dynamic flight, he loses his speed boost. Okay, so if the thing slams, you become earthbound and you can't use movement abilities. But what if you already popped it and you have your 8 seconds of increased speed? Well, if the thing slams you, it does not cancel your dynamic flight and you still have increased speed, even while earthbound.
Myth busted.
Hawkeye's ice arrow can penetrate Magneto's bubble. Okay, if it can penetrate the turret, can it penetrate the bubble and go directly through it? Well, no. Luckily, Magneto's bubble works just as intended, and Hawkeye's ice arrow does not go through it.
Myth busted.
So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are some Season 2.5 myths in Marvel Rivals. Let me know if you have any other myths you want me to try out in the next episode, and let me know if you learned something new in this video. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.